So you're trying to start your own business. I get asked this quite often. This is probably the number one question I get asked often. I always say one of the most important ways to find out is how would you test it, right? So for example, if you're trying to start up your own sandwich shop, make them in your kitchen, sell them, give them away for free at a family event. Get the feedback, right? Of course, people are gonna tell you it tastes good and stuff like that. So you really gotta be a good judgment of how you're gonna figure out that those are good or not. Take it to the next step. You'll take it to a farmer's market. Set up your little tent, usually a spot's pretty cheap, and then sell your bread, your sandwiches and stuff like that there, and see how many people will buy. You gotta find the starving crowd. This is something I've been pretty decent at in my military career. I traveled all over the place. I've been to 35 countries. I've lived in Italy, Japan, Korea, gone to Afghanistan. I've always found products that I know I could sell. And I've been doing this ever since I was 16. I would flip cars, and when I went to go post them up somewhere, took them to certain neighborhoods. And they're saying certain demographics that, will buy certain cars. It's the same concept. You don't try to sell a Corvette to a family of 5 and they're expecting another child. It's not, unless he's an insanely millionaire and they're shopping around for that. But the chances of that happening is not gonna be not that much, right? So you're trying to sell to that demographic of a family, so you gotta sell them a minivan, right? So you gotta find what they would say is the starving crowd. You gotta find your product, and you gotta find a market to fit your product market fit. Super important to find that out and test and test and test. That's the most important part of any business, is finding out where that works. I'm Joe Zaragoza, not here to sell you anything. This is the only, I don't have time to be coaching people one-on-one, nothing like that. So I also run my own business, an aviation maintenance training. My purpose that I want to do is help out Hispanics, Latinos in the Southwest. And so that way, I noticed I prefer, actually on, face-to-face, I can do meetings and stuff like that, but I don't want to take no money at all. I don't want to sell anything. It's just too much stuff. Website, all this stuff, just doing the branding thing. But I know I want to, every time I want to find some downtime, like I am right now in between sets when I'm working out, I want to provide value. And it's something I think about business 24/7, and I like to connect with like-minded people or people who want to build up the business. So I would say the Blue Ocean Strategy book is very good to read. But there was an analogy, and it was probably from Alex Hormozy, that put a good analogy to it. And I think, if I remember right, the saying goes, if there's 3 hot dog stands, right, and 3 hot dog owners, one had the premium stuff, it was amazing. Or would you rather have a shitty hot dog, but around 2 o'clock in the morning, people are coming out of the club, there's not a lot of places to eat, and you just have your shitty hot dogs there? Or find the one in the middle, right? So the theory is you want to be in the presence of a very starving crowd. So when it's 2 o'clock, think about Waffle House. They're known to be, a shitty food, but I remember in the military, they talk about it's good drunk food. So what does good drunk food mean? You're starving and you're willing to eat shit food. So it's important to find that crowd. That's what I mean by having that product that people want and people will pay for it, even if you have a shitty product. Think about Walmart. They don't have the most quality service or the most quality products in there. Some of them are good, some are good. Same thing, what's another one? McDonald's, for example, right? They don't have the best hot dogs. They're not known for the best hot dogs, but they have a certain demographics or a certain type of people, and they feed to the starving people, even if it's not the best, most high quality, best service people. So find that product market fit. That's how you will have a good business. And even if you start at shitty, right? As you get income, you can always work on your product as you go along. So don't get so fixed that you must have the most highest quality product. Just find your starving crowd, find your demographics. And then from there, you start building up the quality, and that's what's important. And if you're looking for investors, they're gonna ask you, and they might change the terms as in, what's your client avatar? What's your profile avatar? What's your audience? Who are you trying to target? And then you gotta answer that, because that's super important. And I've noticed that every time I talk to other business people, and this is going to be helpful, right? So when you go to banks asking for a loan, they're going to ask you that. That's going to be one of the first things they're going to ask you. If you go to a marketing agency and you're trying to look for help, or if you're trying to do marketing on yourself, and you're trying to build a strategy, one of the first questions is, who's your client avatar? Or what's your profile look like? Who are your people you're trying to serve? And the more specific you can get, the better. For example, in my aviation maintenance community, I was an aircraft mechanic, but as I talked to more people on the phone, picking up the phone, talking to them about their issues, their goals, their dreams, and stuff like that, there's more that I learn about them as the years go on. So I find to get very deep into what their problems, what their goals are, and their challenges and things like that. So if you're trying to help your team, if you bring on more people, guess what? You gotta know who your client avatar. So the importance of this client avatar is super important. Yes, it's good to have good feedback, but when people put down their money for buying your product, that's a whole different game from just saying, hey, this is a good sandwich, or hey, I'll pay you $5 for that. Continue to work on your product as time goes on and as you get more money that you can afford, or work on some things. Okay, client avatar is probably the most important thing. Looking for your starving crowd. So when they say avatar or your profile and what your demographic looks like, the starving crowd is what you're looking for. That's going to help you go far in your business for many years, or even if for the life of your company. Build on that, find out who that is, what demographic. You can't serve them all. It's better to serve a few than all. And the reason that is because if you can get, especially in the very beginning, if you can get super specific, your focus, your resources are focused on that demographics. The more specific it is and the more niche it is, you can find those people and you're not spread thin. That's so stressful. And if you can just focus on a certain type of people, then you can just be laser focused on that, and that's how you grow as well. Hopefully this helps. Like, again, not looking to coach anybody one-on-one, take anybody's money, nothing like that. These videos is to already do that and do it for free, and just building relationships as we go. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll be posting this on YouTube and all social medias as I grow this brand and this network to help more people starting off. Thank you very much. And if you know anybody that's starting off a business and they would think they will benefit this, because I know that a lot of people want to start, and it's better to just find that demographic, get very specific, and a lot of people lose sight of that. Share this with anybody that you think that would benefit from this. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, take care.